lot of people ask me, Vince, how do I become a millionaire? And I'm like, have you ever asked for $1 million?
Yo, so boys, I just finished my food. I'm about to head to the gym, but I want you guys to hit me with questions up above because this lighting is majestic as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, how's that? But I need you to understand these people are no different than you. The only difference between them and you is they grabbed their balls, they found somebody who was where they wanted to be, they cut the check for speed and got the blueprint, and now they're seeing results.
Well guys, we are back once again with another one of these fake alpha male goobers who have just somehow grifted themselves into becoming an internet laughingstock and a brand new swole cow. And we have just another one of these guys who saw good old Wes Micropenis Watson and decided that they could pull the same exact BS and could just take advantage of other people. And the very man that I would be talking about today isn't just any typical Wes Watson clone, because not only has he just hit new levels of dumbassery, but instead of being bald like most of them are, he appears to have chosen one of the goofiest hairstyles possible and just took some inspiration from a piece of fucking broccoli. And our friend here, who just basically looks like he's wearing a damn helmet, goes by the name Vincent Fischer online. And when you first see good old Vincent Fischer's Instagram page, he seems to just be your typical alpha male grifter who goes ahead and posts videos like these right here, where he's basically just yapping about some random bullshit and just trying to get you to comment the word mentor so he can go ahead and try to trick you into paying a shit ton of money just so that he can basically teach you how to pretend to be rich online.
Yo, so boys, we are balling out of our brains in Costa Rica right now. You know, my voice has been gone. I was like, fuck it, let's take a quick getaway. But I'm kind of liking life outside the US. You know what I mean? It's like, I always save money when I travel, you know, because I'm not in Miami buying supercars and dumb shit. I'm just spending $1,000 a night here for a villa, you know, nothing. But moral of the story, we're probably going to travel a lot more. We'll probably hit Dubai next, then the Maldives. But I need you guys to understand, if you watch my content and you have an above average physique, this life is completely achievable for you too. DM me the word mentor right now. I'm going to show you the exact same blueprint that I've used to help hundreds of my students get to 10,000 a month or more as online coaches. Let's get it.
And you see, this isn't the only trend that this man tried to completely copy from Wes Watson, and is definitely not the only trend that he tried to jump on when it comes to alpha males. Because when he isn't promising you that you will just magically make 10 grand a month just by giving him your money, he has also recently been spamming his Instagram page with these supposed client stories that just honestly appear to be pure and clear bullshit. Especially when you look at some of these clients that are supposed to be making all this money, and they are just some little 15-year-old looking guy. And after he spams you with all of these different stories, he just follows the typical alpha male bullshit script where he pretends that there is a limited space, so you better join up now before it's too late to become rich as hell. And he of course does all of this while somehow having some of the wettest looking and the driest looking hair at the same exact time.
So what has been the craziest client success story you've had so far? Guys, we've had so many it's hard to keep track of, but in terms of most recent, we had my guy Solomon go from 0 to 70,000 a month in 3 months. We had my guy Flynn go from a 16-year-old high school dropout to making 40,000 a month at 17. We had my guy Waze go from homeless to 45,000 a month. Colin went from literally losing a limb to making 10,000 a month his next 30 days. So each of these stories are all unique. I wouldn't give anyone a number one title, but I need you to understand these people are no different than you. The only difference between them and you is they grabbed their balls, they found somebody who was where they wanted to be, they cut the check for speed and got the blueprint, and now they're seeing results. Now guys, on that same note, I'm taking 3 more people that want to work with me one-on-one to build 6 to 7 figure online coaching businesses in 2025. If that is you, DM me the word mentor, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to see if you're a good fit, and then we'll move forward from there.
So with all of that in mind, as you can tell, he is just another one of these copycats when it comes to his blueprint, as he would say. And I know what you may be wondering. What could possibly set this guy apart from the other alpha males besides the way he looks? And that would of course be the fact that he takes straight up pride in the fact that he is a high school dropout. I shit you not, this man tries to flex the fact that he couldn't obtain one of the easiest levels of education possible. And at the same time, you can just tell that it is one of his biggest insecurities, because if you dare say something about it, he is immediately going to go on a random tangent about why he did it and just tries to justify it. And it just leads to moments like this, to where he just says some straight up out of pocket ass shit.
Guys, I didn't drop out of high school because I was dumb or I didn't want to do it. I dropped out of high school because if I had to sit behind a desk and work a corporate job the rest of my life, I'd shoot myself in the head. I mean that. Like, my biggest fear was being fucking average. A lot of you guys come to me like, hey Vince, you know, what if I fail and I'm afraid what people are gonna think? I was afraid about myself because I have a mother who loves me. I'm like, I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm gonna drop out. My mom cried so much. She's like, Vincent, what are you doing? Like this, that. I'm like, Mom, I'm doing this for you. You know, I'd rather be homeless and scavenge my next meal than sit behind that desk. For me, it was ball or fall. I was like, I'm gonna be homeless or I'm gonna get rich.
So basically, what we have here is a life coach who has absolutely no life experience. Because in his mind, if he finished high school, then that meant he had to get a corporate job and sit behind a desk. When in reality, a high school diploma is one of the easiest things that you can get. Shit, you don't even have to study. You can just show the hell up, pay the slightest bit of attention, and you'll be perfectly fine if you don't have the IQ of a fucking walnut. Bro didn't even have enough work ethic to go ahead and finish one of the easiest levels of education. And I guess the idea of just working a normal job was so awful to this guy that he just decided to fool people into buying into his bullshit and basically borderline scamming them. And this has just become a trend to him, to where in damn near almost every conversation, he makes sure that he brings up the fact that he was a high school dropout and just immediately tries to justify it.
I was at my desk, I'm in science class. I'm like, why hasn't my science teacher invented shit? Why is my PE teacher fat? Why does my English teacher have no bestsellers? It's like I'm learning from losers. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I want to win, I have to learn from actual winners, and that's not going to come from school.
Yeah.
You know, so most people call me stupid for dropping out, and they're like, oh, he's a high school dropout. No, I just learned from real millionaires that had real results.
Yeah. So at this point, Pubehead here is basically just trying to convince other people to drop out of high school by just rambling on about stupid shit like this and having some wild ass expectations of what high school should actually be. Because I don't know what the hell he thought he was learning there, but my guy, it's only supposed to be algebra and the basic shit. And the only thing that he apparently learned from these supposed masters was to sit here online and respond to every hater that even dares to say something about you, and how to teach people to be coaches to go ahead and create more coaches. So with that said, he is of course like all of these other alpha males and just has to respond to all of the supposed haters. And while doing so, just displays his god complex that he's got going and tries to state that other people are just intimidated by him.
Only hate on people you feel intimidated by. So when people see me online as a 21-year-old 6'5" jack tatted millionaire light skin, of course they're gonna hate. He's just pretending. Yeah, bro. I've been pretending to be rich the last 3 years. People hate me because they feel intimidated by me. And instead of self-improving and getting on my level, they attempt to drag me down, which isn't a healthy solution. I'm a 6'5" jack tatted millionaire light skin with a retired mother, $1.5 million in cars. I live in a $3 million penthouse. I have a hot ass girlfriend. I have every angle on lock. So people with weak ass mindsets, you gotta think losers have hated winners since the beginning of time. Small dogs always bark at big dogs. Big dogs just exist. You know what I mean? So when you're a big dog, you're gonna be fucking hated.
And for someone who is apparently the one who's not intimidated and who is apparently the big dog after he sat there and did his little barking impression, this man sure continues to just defend himself nonstop about anything that anyone has to say. And basically has just become more about defending himself than actually coaching people in life. And not only does he have to sit here and defend and try to say that he doesn't rent everything that he's showing in videos, but he is also clearly insecure about his hair and will just end up going on tangents about that as well.
One of the funniest things I see online is when people are like, oh, you know, everybody in Miami just pretends to be rich and this, that. But I'm like, when you have a Phantom and a SVJ and a 2-story penthouse for an extended period of time, I mean, maybe I'm not faking, maybe I'm not pretending, maybe I'm just rich, bro. Maybe I make a lot of money and live a great life. I'll tell you what I wouldn't be able to afford though. If I was renting all this stuff, I would not be able to afford it. You know, because this car would be 3K a day, the SVJ would be 3K a day, my penthouse on Airbnb would be a lot more expensive. You know, that would be like 300,000 a month in expenses. I can't afford that. But because I own these things, you know, outside of the penthouse, which I pay rent for, the cars I own, so it's a lot cheaper, bro. It's just what it is. We hear goofy, etc., whatever. I love my hairstyle. That's one thing the internet can't take from me, is that I love me. You know, I love my hairstyle. I love my beard, etc. I mean, for all we know, my hairstyle may be the reason behind my success. You know what I mean? When I got this hairstyle, I became a millionaire, moved into a penthouse, bought all my dream cars. My mother and my girlfriend are retired. I mean, what has your hairstyle gotten you, bro? What type of ROI have you gotten from adding a buzz cut, having a spike, having a comb over? What have you gotten, bro? I think you should try mine out. You know what I mean? They say perm, I'm half black, but I think you should actually go get a perm and just experience what life is like with this hairstyle.
So as you can tell, we are just using non-high school diploma logic out here. And Vince here has just gotten to the point to where when he's not sitting here and responding at the haters angry, he's also just going out of his way to give some downright horrendous financial advice. And he'll say shit like this right here, where he'll make a statement that you should just ask for $1 million, and is basically saying that you should just sell things at a very high price and then you just need less people to buy it, when in reality, it is not sustainable whatsoever, and you're probably not going to sell the shit if it's extremely overpriced. And this same mindset that he's got going is probably the reason that he's having to sit here and do all of these fake promotions and has to sit there and sponsor his supposed old clients that are now successful pretty much every damn day, multiple times a day on his Instagram, because no one is buying his overpriced bullshit anymore, and his little tactic just isn't working.
A lot of people ask me, Vince, how do I become a millionaire? And I'm like, have you ever asked for $1 million? Well, no. So you haven't even allowed $1 million to enter your bank account. You don't have to ask for it at once. But say you're selling, you know, some type of product, and let's say it's low ticket. Say you're selling a $50 ebook or some shit. You need to ask 20,000 people to even be able to get to $1 million. On the other hand, if you're higher ticket, say you have a $5,000 product, you only need to ask 200 people. So I always recommend everybody go higher ticket if you want to get rich quick.
One of the funniest things I see online is like a coping mechanism. Like people hate on info or service-based communities, and they'll go, well, my real business is much harder. And my real business that has 3% margins and loses money is more honorable. You're just stupid. Why would you start a business that has no margins? An intelligent move would be to switch to a business that has higher margins so you're not struggling and hating. The only people hating are people that struggle. Anybody making money, you're relaxed, you're chilling. Dog, stop, you know what I mean? But, you know, it is what it is, bro. People that are losing will always find a way to discredit and hate on winners. It's just part of the game. I mean, even the people that do have these brands with small margins, you need to study the world's richest people. Why are you guys selling cheap shit? Bernard Arnault, the owner of all the designer brands that you buy, said the only area it's possible to make luxury margins is luxury goods.
See, all of this is bad enough and is all just corny as fuck, as it already is. But Vince also takes it to the next level. And possibly the worst part about good old Vince here is that he cannot help himself but to jump on every little trend and do it in the cringiest way possible. And he's just been out here posting goofy ass clips like this, talking about how he defines aura. And I don't even think he's joking. I think this man is just posting it, really thinking that it's just hard as hell. And this is not, of course, where the goofiness ends. Because just like everything else that he does, he also decided that he was going to go ahead and copy the morning routine trend and basically just tried to flex at the same time. And man, was it just embarrassing as hell. And when you watch this, I want you to keep in mind that this was the guy who was just talking about people are intimidated by him, and this is just the supposed big bad alpha male.
Let me ask you this, bro. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Bro, Take your left hand, grab your balls, and make the payment, dog. Let's do this shit.
So as you can tell, this man is just a special type of lolcow, and everything he does just somehow ends up getting goofier and looking dumb as hell. But I will give him credit for one thing, and that is, he is somewhat unique, even though he's just copying Wes Watson's blueprint. At least he's doing it in his own very stupid way. And unfortunately, I do not think that this complete goober will be stopping anytime soon, because he has posted videos like these right here, to where he is even getting mad at people who are his own fans, and who are asking him to just stop grifting with this course bullshit, and has just been doing anything and everything, and using whatever type of logic necessary to sell as many of these courses as he can.
Every now and then I'll get a DM that's like, Vince, I love your content and I'm a huge fan, but can you not show me the online coaching stuff? Like, I just follow you for lifestyle content. I'm like, bro, if you follow me to jack off to lifestyle content and you have no desire to improve your situation, you are not a fan. Unfollow me. You missed the whole message. All I preach is self-development, living a great life, taking care of family. If you miss that whole principle, you're f***ed, bro. Now, people see me and they say, oh, this dude takes it too serious. Like, enjoy your life, bro. It's not that deep. Bro, I don't think you take it serious enough, because you have a mother that raised you for 18 years that is still working, bro. You need to take it more serious. The most selfish thing you can do is only focus on what you want, which is around enjoying your life, when you should be becoming your best self so you can take care of the people around you. Your guys' biggest expense will always be the knowledge you don't have. How much does it cost you to not know how to make $10,000 a month? $10,000 a month, 12 months. It costs you $120,000 a year to not know this information. So people will see the upfront cost of something and say, oh man, that's too expensive. What's most expensive is for you to keep doing what you're doing, which is a failing routine. No offense, bro. But if you're doing under $10,000 a month, every dollar you make needs to be invested into high income skills. That's the only way you're going to make it out. Can't save your way rich, guys.
But with that all shown and said, I think I've had enough of good old pubes face here. So if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and the like, and I'm out. Watching another fake alpha male just continue to look like an idiot, in peace.
Now, this really isn't even a question. I'm not going to lie. This just popped up on my head. I don't know why on my Explore page, I'm seeing old heads like on young people that are just enjoying their lives and buying the fast cars they want, moving to Miami, and they're saying, you know, oh, well, they're stupid because how I built my wealth. Yeah, but you lived a boring ass life and nobody respects you because you're 60 years old now. Nobody gives a if you're 60 years old pulling up in a Rolls Royce. I give a about the 20-year-old in the Ferrari. Like, what the is he doing? The chicks actually want his ass. The old fart, he's just a fucking trick. So, like, if these damn old heads just stopped fucking hating and let the young do their thing, bro, the world would just be a much better place. Who sees a young, successful person? I hope to God. When I'm 40 years old sitting on a couple billion, I hope to God my heart isn't stained and I see a younger dude and I'm like, he's stupid with his money. He's buying Lambos now.